Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate you and you holding this meeting today. And thank you to all of the witnesses for being here. Where I live, which is in deep South Texas, affordability and specifically housing affordability is at the top of their mind, especially for the young families and young adults that are getting to that age of beginning their life in a new family. Affordability is something that we must tackle. And unfortunately, consumers looking to buy or rent are being hurt by all angles. And the primary driver to housing costs have been the decades of underdevelopment that has left us short 5 million housing units. That being said, I'm sure all of our witnesses would agree that the FHA multi-family insurance programs play a critical role in incentivizing housing construction nationwide. I've introduced the H.R. 6132, the Housing Affordability Act, to update FHA's multi-family insurance program for the first time in over 20 years. That's quite a bit of time. A lot has changed since then. And this is to ensure that they more accurately capture the true cost of construction. So, Mr. Sears and Ms. Smith, I am proud to say that the organizations that you represent are supporting this legislation. And I'd like you to explain how changes like these can leverage and incentivize private investment to expand the housing supply. Mr. Sears, I will start with you first.
Ms. De La Cruz, thank you very much. And yes, the National Association of Realtors does support this effort. We have talked about too many rules and laws that have gone unchanged, and so 22 years is a long time. But what we see is these outdated limits block the potential financing for these projects. And when financing is blocked, that's going to prohibit the construction that is so desperately needed. So updating this, unlocking the private investment would be key to helping to solve the housing crisis.
Thank you so much. And Ms. Smith, would you agree with this?
Absolutely. Like I mentioned earlier, the 221D4 program is really an excellent one for multifamily. Because costs have gone up so much over the 20 years, as you represented, we need to extend the loan limits. So today there are so many projects that cost so much more to build than would fit into the program today. So we think that in addition to really expediting the process and really shortening the waiting period, will make a big difference in the use of this program. But we are very supportive of it.
Thank you. And Mr. Peter, to change topics, many people might be surprised to learn that most government housing programs focus primarily on stimulating demand while ignoring the supply constraints that we have. What role can government programs play in better incentivizing supply of new housing construction rather than just focusing on demand?
Yeah, so government is very good at stimulating demand. It's very poor at bringing forth new supply, and demand is relatively easy. All you have to do is lower underwriting standards, add down payment assistance, or lower interest rates, for example. But if you do that against a limited supply, Economics 101 tells you that you're going to end up driving prices higher, and that's bad for first-time home buyers. On the supply side, there are certain levers that the federal government has. For example, you could free up federal land, especially out in the Western Third, that could, over 10 years, create 1 million single-family starter homes. And that's certainly a very potent option. Smaller lot sizes, as we've talked about before. There's a whole slew of things that the federal government can do.
Thank you so much. Very quickly, in my short period of time, Mr. Sears, I'll come back to you. Another important cost driver for both consumers and developers is the ability to access affordable lending. From your perspective, what are the key drivers in today's market that are increasing the consumer's cost to borrow?
Right off the top of my head, interest rates. That is one of the most significant. Also, insurance costs, that's part of the cost to own, and part of the borrowing costs have been significant as well.
Thank you. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I ask by unanimous consent that this support letter for HR 6132, co-signed by over a dozen housing groups, be entered into the record. Thank
Without-
you.
Without objection.
Thank you. I yield back.
Gentleman